COVID was such a defining.
What happened? What was going on?
The amount of clothes that we sold during COVID was almost the same as we had sold the previous year. You know, I was like, there has to be some form of psychology to this thing.
This episode is brought to you by Credit Direct. My next guest has sold 35,000 garments in 1 year. Think about it, oh. 35,000 garments. She's over here making faces like it's not a big deal.
No, because we've passed that. That was like...
Oh my God.
That was like...
Hey, God, when? No. She is... You might not know her name, but you definitely know her brand. She is the creative director behind Zephans Co. Please welcome Nkiru Achukwu. Welcome. I know her as Kiki, but she said, introduce me as Nkiru. Yes, introduce you as whatever you want me to introduce you as, madam. Welcome.
Thank you.
See, the moment I've always said I would like to talk to you. I can't remember. Yeah. I think I had spoken to you that we should do lunch or something.
Yeah, you
one
say
time.
it all the time. You never buy me food.
Sorry, don't be angry.
You never called me to do lunch.
But this is better. We'll still do lunch, but this is better. Okay. I feel like
I'll take this.
We have a lot to learn from you. You have built this brand from the ground up, and I'm very curious. When you asked me to send you the questions, I think I sent you like 30 questions.
I was like, am I going for an exam?
I'm sorry. We just have so many questions.
I know.
So because Nigeria is a very dynamic country, and as much as many people's dreams come true here, a lot of people's dreams are crushed, especially when it comes to the creative space.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've been able to build this remarkable brand. Listen, this interview should be on CNN. And I'm sure you've been on CNN before.
I mean, like...
you see? But yeah, welcome. Let's talk about Zephans Co. What was the origin story? How did you start?
This is a story I've told so many times, but let me just say it again. I couldn't find pants that were my size.
Tall girl problems.
Yeah. You know, and I used to sell clothes. I used to sell shoes in the pant, jewelry, you know, but every time I would try to shop for pants, they just were never long enough, you know, and I would say that's what pushed me to just start, because I always knew I was going to go into fashion. My mom is a fashion designer, so I grew up in this space. Okay. I would grow up seeing my mom cut up fabric, and we had a sewing machine at home. So she always used to like make clothes for us, my sister, you know. So I always knew that no matter what I do, like no matter whatever career I decided to pursue, I knew that the end goal was going to be fashion, right? But what really pushed me to start was really pants, to be honest, because at the time I was selling clothes to people. I was selling like I used to buy stuff from ASOS and Zara. Okay. You know, and then my tall customers, and I had so many of them, they would just be like, I want this trouser, but I know it will not be long enough, you know. And I was just like, you know what, there's actually a market for it, you know. And then I decided to start looking into the process of production, and I didn't want to make them myself because I'm very business focused. I was very like being realistic. I was like, if I start making this thing, because I went to fashion school, I can sew, right? But I was like, if I start making this thing myself, I don't think I'll be able to scale it to the point where, you know, I wanted to go. And so I decided to find a factory. God was so kind, I found a good one. And then they started producing for me, and that was really how we started. In Nigeria? Yes, here in Nigeria.
Okay. So when you say factory, basically it's a contract-based thing. You tell them, I want to make this, make me tops, XYZ number of tops. Yes, they do your samples, you try them on. If you're happy with it, you tell them the size chart, you give them a size chart, and then you just make them too. And you know, it's a very funny story the way I found this lady, because I had gone around, Googled everything, tried everything, and all the people I kept on finding were people that used to make uniforms. So they would tell me, oh, we can only do uniforms, we cannot make fashion pieces, you know. And then one day I was just driving, and like in my sister's car, and over the radio, I just turned, for some reason, I tuned to like a different station. And I just heard this woman over the radio talking about how she has a garment factory. Oh, they make clothes for people. She was producing for Udin. And I was like, wait, turned up the volume. The thing you were looking for.
Exactly what I was looking for, you know. And I took her number at the end of the interview. I called her. She was just 20 minutes away from my house.
Oh, great.
And I feel like for me, that was the biggest confirmation from God that this is what you're supposed to. Because what are the odds that at that time that I tuned the radio. She was the one speaking, and that was it. So she went on to produce for us maybe like 2 years before we started our own.
Were you satisfied with what they were producing
most at the time? Yeah, it was at the beginning. I was so happy.
What year was this?
2016. I started using her in 2015, but we launched in 2016. Yeah.
I remember when you first started, because I have clothes from when you first started. I wear them at home now. Listen, I was saying like a lot of my wardrobe is Zephans Co. It is like many times I'll be like, this Zephans. I've given away so many. I think I did a vlog earlier this year where I was like, put your hand up if you have a Zephans Co outfit in your wardrobe.
I saw it,
Put your hand up if you had 5, 10. I said, put your hand up if you have up to 100. Me.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I'm serious. Since 2016 or thereabout. And in fact, I remember as far back when you used to write Le Victoria.
Yes.
What was Le Victoria?
We still write Le Victoria. So let me tell you, when we started, right, I wanted Zephans Co to be like a parent's brand. So let me tell you the truth.
Okay.
My biggest, the person that I look up to, even if it doesn't know me, but the person that I used to read so many books on, the owner of Zara.
Okay.
Right? And he has the parent company in Dtex, right? And then he has Zara, he has Pull&Bear, he has Massimo Dutti, and a bunch of he has about 7 fashion brands under that. So for me, when I was creating Zephans Co was supposed to be like a parent brand.
Okay.
And then Le Victoria would be the female brand. And then at some point, I actually dabbled into male fashion and I called it Zane, but it was like Le Victoria by Zephans Co. And then also Zane by Zephans Co. The male brand did well, but I just really could not focus on it. So that's how we have, because even now our designs still carry Le Victoria labels, right? Okay. Because I still believe that one day
you could do it.
Yeah. One day I would try. I'll do children's clothes, I'll do male clothes.
Please, I'm waiting for the mommy and me because you have a daughter.
I really want to do like mommy and me clothes, but it is just too much. Like it's too much. But I know that I will. I will do it. Okay. I will. Yeah.
So for the first 2 years, started to do it with this factory, and then what made you decide to go on do your own thing?
Funny story. We were advertised. Then we used to. So our store was in Ajao Estate when we started, and then we were going to do a pop-up in Lekki because most of our customers used to come from the island to Ajao Estate. So these people, I had already introduced them to so many people. Like so many around the time, I had different people who were always reaching out to me, who is producing for you, and I would introduce them, but I didn't know it was to my own detriment.
So they didn't have your time anymore.
So we were marketing this pop-up, end of the year pop-up, December like this, had done a beautiful shoot. This was in 2017. Yeah. Thanks. Done an amazing shoot, we're getting ready for, and then marketing the pop-up, paid for the space, everything. We spent so much money in the hopes that at least when we sell, we can cover up. And then these people didn't even do up to 20%.
Yay.
Of what we had given them to.
No.
Yeah. They didn't do up to 20% of what we had given them to produce for the pop-up.
Oh, that's a mess.
So that was when I knew that it was time. Yeah. So even when we started producing ourselves, we're still using them until we completely
win them. Win
phase
yourself
them out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you now had to, obviously, being that your mom already had this knowledge and so it wasn't like ground zero for you in that you had some knowledge of what sort of machines to get, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And also like working closely with the factory, like I kind of understood the process. It also helped me to understand like, okay, the steps that you needed to take before you start your own garment factory. Yeah.
Okay. And what was that moment that you felt like, okay, I could actually do this?
I think it was in 2020 during COVID.
Okay. During COVID?
Yeah.
Babe, during COVID, do you know how far you had gone by then?
I know, but it was COVID that really solidified. Because in COVID we were 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was COVID that and that's why this is also like a note to like the young people who are listening, like sometimes it takes years, because you just start and you expect to have that. Yes, I've arrived. Sometimes it takes years. Good things actually take time, right? Because during COVID, we're actually selling. I thought that we're doing well, but COVID made me realize how big the market was.
When did you open your store in Lekki? What year was this?
2020, during COVID.
Yes, because I remember coming. I remember you sent me a dress. I remember coming there. In fact, I remember that I had bought this other dress that I cornered Ozina. I said, come help me, show me how to tie this dress or something. Yeah. And I remember that it was such a huge success. It was so big. Yes. Like, I think you had sent me a jumpsuit, which I still have the jumpsuit till today. It was very long. I kept it for some time, then I had it adjusted. And I've worn it so many times. Yeah. I have so many.
I think I know the jumpsuit. I remember the jumpsuits.
Yeah. I think I went to your store again. Yes. Listen, when people think I'm joking when I say I wear my clothes to until they are about to
that's how it should be.
Yes.
That's how it should be.
It's my own.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
And as long as nothing is wrong with it, like, why won't I wear my clothes? That's how it should be.
So it was during COVID that you realized.
COVID was, oh my God, COVID was such a defining...
What happened? What was going on?
It was ridiculous. The orders that we were getting.
I was like, people going in COVID?
Where are you going? I was like, there has to be some form of psychology to this thing because... The amount of orders that we received in COVID was almost the same. The amount of clothes that we sold during COVID was almost the same as we had sold the previous year. The entire year.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how the pricing is going to be. Because if you think of Zephans, to me, it is a reasonably priced a brand that has clothes for pretty much everybody.
Everyone.
If you are a baddie, you will find there. It's true. Yeah. If you are a modest babe, you want to be covered from, neck to ankle, you'll find stuff. Yes. If there's so many different. So how did you decide, look, this is going to be what the pricing is going to be like and all of that?
I think that the fact that I was already selling like high street fashion clothing really helped because it helped me to realize what moved fast and the prices that moved fast
and what girls like
and what girls actually like, the kind of things that girls like, so I wanted functional pieces that you could wear because then back in the day when you watch runway shows, most of it's now that people make functional clothes. Back then when you watch runway shows, like it's like, who's gonna wear that? I
was very avant-garde, very different.
And like, do people really wear these things out? So like for me, I wanted pieces that you could wear now. If you want to go somewhere, you can either dress it up or dress it down. So being in the doing the business of buying and selling from all them ASOS, Zara, really helped me to know that so when I start my own, these are the kind of things I should make, and this is the price points because I don't want to tie my pieces down, right? So I had to just make sure that I kept cost at a certain level, and then so that I could sell at a certain price, and I believe that it has worked.
So I used to order. I think I used to order via DM or WhatsApp. I can't even remember.
Yes.
Until you guys decided to open this website. It was a very bold move.
Yes.
You were like, we're going to do this website. We're not going to answer any DMs anymore.
Yes.
We're not going to do WhatsApp anymore. Yes. And even me, I was reluctant. WhatsApp. Yes. I mean, the website. But your website was very well built. It was moved. I was just like, okay, pictures are there. Everything is there. You can pay on the website.
On the website, yes.
So what made you decide to go the website route?
Before I handed I think it was in 2020, I stopped handling WhatsApp in around that COVID time. I started having anxiety attacks. I'm not joking. I used to wake up to maybe messages? 300 messages every day.
What?
And I knew that I did not produce 300 of the dress. So by the time you finish replying like 50 people, the dress has finished.
And they'll be angry.
So what do you do to the other 250?
Yikes.
They will insult you. I messaged you since yesterday. I messaged you since last night. What do you mean by you people are lying? You people only sell to celebrities. Like, it was bad. You'll be like, customers will cuss us out so bad. Like, some people will swear for you. I mean, I'm sure you will. No, I'm sure some people would actually swear for you. Like, God will punish you. Like, what I was not like, hey, God, no. Like, then I used to complain to my mom. My mom would be like, okay, what are we going, like, what's the way forward? And I was just like, see, this website, we're going to do it. And so that way, everything is there at the same time.
And first to get it, pretty much. So you won't say, that I'm giving my friends. So you're not going to
come and tell me. So we deleted WhatsApp.
Oh.
The day that we said we were going to launch, I think it was in September, we said we're launching the website on this day. And from this day, we no longer have WhatsApp. People adjusted.
It was difficult, I'm sure. It wasn't like it was an easy...
The transition was actually quite smooth because the things were still selling out. So it was pretty... I was so afraid I'm not gonna lie, I was so scared because I didn't know. I was like, hey, even some of my friends told me, Kiki, don't worry, I'll give you to next week. You go and download WhatsApp again. But we never had to download WhatsApp for maybe another 4 years.
So why did you go back?
Just because, like, sometimes you know that we first of all, we had already solidified that website one. So now WhatsApp was for customer service. Some customers want to talk to you real time to ask about certain things. And then when you're done having a conversation, you can now send them a link to go and order on the website.
Yeah, so like they have questions, that sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah. And now we still use WhatsApp. Now we started taking orders via WhatsApp again, but only in store. So if you want something on the website, you have to go to the website to order it. But if you want, some people tell you, I need something now and I'm going to send my driver to pick up.
Okay.
Then we can take your order. We can take the order on the website because only at the store. Yeah. So the WhatsApp is only for like store, the Abuja store and the Lagos store items. But if you want something on the website, because sometimes they'll tell you this thing you want is no longer available at the store, you can order it on the website, and then they still go to the website to order.
Okay.
Yeah.
You once I saw it on a tweet. I think you were on a panel somewhere where you had mentioned that you sold 35,000 pieces. Again, like you said, it's old. Hey, when I saw it, I was like,
but don't say it like that.
God, when? How?
I don't know.
How?
It happened. It's clothes now. I know. You can't compare clothes like shoes or bags. It's clothes.
Yeah, people will buy more clothes than shoes.
Yeah, that's what that's really what it is.
Buy more shoes. But really, like, no.
Because like I think about how many clothes you have, think about how many shoes you have.
I have a lot of shoes.
Oh, I don't have that many. I don't. The ratio.
I'm a shoe lover.
The ratio of my clothes to shoes is maybe like 50 to 1. Okay, maybe not 50 to 1, like 30 to 1. Yeah. I have a lot of clothes.
I know. I mean, well, for me, I've always been that girl that's always had, like, I won't have money, but I will buy shoes. Also because of my size and, how that happened or whatever.
So whenever you see your size, you just...
Listen, I'd always, So that's shoes, I think, for me. I don't care about bags. I can carry the same bag the whole year. Or it's a shoe.
Yeah.
I will buy
Yeah. No, I understand.
But yeah, so... At what point did you realize, we're selling 35,000 garments a year? Now, I know you've surpassed that. I'm afraid to even ask.
No, let's focus on 35,000.
Jeez. So yeah, I'm sure you're laughing at all of us as the elder.
No, we can focus on
at 35,000.
First of all.
So how many outfits are you churning out a day? If you're able to, are you making everything in Nigeria?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I've seen that you've been open about going. You've been to China twice this year.
Yes.
So what is that? Because I know that lots of entrepreneurs always ask, always complain about how they go find fabric, but there's not enough of a certain fabric in the market.
Yes.
I've seen you've gone to the East as well.
Yes, that's why.
I remember before this China.
I used to go to Aba.
Yes, you buy bills and bills and bills.
Yes, I used to go to Aba. When I started, the second time, because my first time was, the first set of fabric we used was from Dubai. And then things were still like relatively affordable. And then the second batch was from Aba because, again, my mom, she's carried me there because that's where she used to go to back then. So Aba was very good. And Aba was fantastic while it lasted. And I still buy some things sometimes from Aba if I'm able to find quantity. I still buy from Aba. But the reason why I started going to China, to be honest, is quantity. And then exclusivity. Yeah, because the thing about Aba is... You're gonna
other people are buying from there too.
Yeah, you're gonna have other people using the same fabrics and make their clothes as well. But with China, you don't experience that because people are coming from all over the world. And in China, you can also print fabric. You can give them your design, and they print it for you on whatever kind of fabric that you want. So yeah, that's why. But regarding selling 35,000 pieces, I have to shout out to Zephans babes because I don't know, man. Like I don't know what I'll do.
There's no way you would go in,
bro.
Let me speak for Lagos. I don't know where you go in this Lagos, an event, church, wedding, whatever, even day to day, and you will not find a babe wearing a Zephans, what's it called, piece. And it's so funny because there's a makeup artist that I use from time to time, and she's like, I have this, I'll show up because my day-to-day uniform is Zephans, is the trouser sets, is the short sets, is the skirt sets, is the, dress, is the long, everything. And she'd be, I have this one. She's counted like 10. I have this one. I have this one. She's like, it's like we have the same taste in, because I think it's also convenient. Apart from being reasonably priced, it's convenient. I know what fits me. I know that my size is my size. Even if I don't have to go to the store. I think last time I went to the store was maybe to shoot the content that I shot, and also I took my mom there for the first time so she could try on stuff.
She find stuff.
Oh yeah, she found stuff, and she, I was a trouser set, and she really liked it because I was like, "Mommy, every time boo 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 boo, what is it now? Nothing wrong with boo boo, but really, and I know she's close to 70, but I was like, let's go try something else." And she actually liked it. She was like, "Oh, it's so comfortable. She looks so young, and I really liked that." I have a question. Now, we know that there's many trends, in fashion, there's many trends every day. How do you balance being on trend at the same time, making those pieces that people can still wear in a few years? Yeah. How do you do that?
Okay. So I think that trends attract attention to your brand. Like right now we have mesh dresses. Mesh dresses are
now the new thing.
Everywhere, are in vogue, but we still try to make sure that our staples are always in stock, So it's fast fashion. We have to give customers what they want. And one thing about Zephans babes, they're very, very vocal. They would send you a message and say, have you people not seen that you are not going to make what's it called, like mesh dresses? It was actually our customers that started requesting for mesh dresses. So when we were going to start our mesh dresses, I wanted to do it nice. We created, like, that's when we did the Ekoele collection. So we created the whole something that even when mesh dresses phase out, you would still want to wear those dresses because of the print, right? Because it connects with us. Like if you're someone who was born in Lagos, that print will definitely speak to you, And so I just said, we'll start with this one. But then we still did other print, like other prints came after. But I was like, so even after this trend has passed, you will still have something to hold on to. And so exactly something that you would have for a very, very long time. So yeah, we try.
Speaking of collections, I noticed that over the years you've partnered with a few celebrities from Osas to Erica and different. How do you pick who you partner with? Even Shola Shubawale, if I remember clearly. How do you decide who you're going to pick for each collection? How does that work?
I think that the process is really about the person who is someone who is the most relatable to girls, right? To Zephans babes. That's really the selection process. And to be honest, yes, Bisola is very. Bisola comes to the store and like even way before we even Bisola comes to the store and is a mess. She's like cracking everybody up. People are laughing down like way before. It's like I think Bisola started shopping Zephans Co in 2019 or 2018. Then when she will come to the store, will be there. Customers will come. She's like, buy this one now, buy that. You know how Bisola is a bundle of personality. Yes. And with Osas is a customer that Osas was with us from the beginning, 2016. Then anytime she's coming into Lagos, she will stop at the store, Ajawa Estate, and she will buy. And she's like, man, I can't wait for you guys to open on the island, man. Because like sometimes I want to go out, I cannot. So she was someone who really invested in our early days. Like she really invested a lot of advice. She was very, very, very interested in our growth, very invested in our growth. So it came naturally. And then Auntie Shola is someone, I mean, that goes without saying. When you think about a mom, who can play the role of a mother in an Hollywood movie, the first person that comes to my head and to like a lot of like maybe millennials, our head would be Auntie Shola. So when we did that collection, oh my goodness, the response was, and we did it we did it with a lot of storytelling. So we had customers messaging us, even people who had lost their moms. They're like, oh my God.
I think it was around Mother's Day or something.
Yeah, it was a Mother's Day collection. We had people reaching out to us that thank you so much for this, that this made me think of my mother. This made, it was really emotional. It was an emotional, I knew that people were going to be open to it, but the feedback that we got after that collection was like money cannot buy it. So that's really how the time that we decided to just think outside the box and try it came back to bite us.
What was that?
There was a time we did a collaboration with a personality, and then we had Zephans babes threatening us like, do not ever. I'm not joking.
I have to think about.
They didn't come. Do you know the shopping party? They didn't come.
Why?
So that's how you know. So that's why I always say that Zephans Co. People think that, oh my God, it's just vibes, and it's not. We listen. I'm not joking. We listened to
recent times.
I'm not gonna say.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you after. But when we're off the record, but they didn't come.
Wow.
You know how we have shopping parties? They didn't come.
Oh my goodness.
And then they were sending us messages like, don't ever. I'm not joking.
Yikes.
So we had to reshoot that collection on our regular models before we started to sell them.
How do you decide on marketing? What to do? I know I've seen your ads. I've seen Instagram ads. What else do you do for marketing?
I think that our biggest form of marketing, to be honest, is customer service, because our return customers make up for, I would say, 45% of our revenue. Then referrals, maybe another like 15 to 18%. So it's really the customer service, because if I go somewhere to buy something and I don't feel like my money was, or I don't feel like the service was good or my experience was good, I will not come back. So we really pride ourselves on customer service, because the revenue that we make off sponsored ads and even influencer marketing is not as high as what we make off returning customers and referrals. So yeah.
Do you think that opening physical stores helped enhance the business?
Absolutely.
Enhance sales? Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. When we opened our Lekki store, we
saw the difference.
Oh yes. Absolutely. And bear in mind that we had a store on the mainland. But
you closed it at some point?
Yeah, we closed it. We closed it to open the Lekki store. The two of them weren't open at the same time. Okay. And then opening our Abuja store in
Yeah, how is that?
Yeah, that also helped boost sales in that area.
Okay, so, I heard they don't go out, so I was a bit worried for you guys.
Oh no, they come. They come. Obviously, it's nothing compared to. It's not as. I wouldn't say it's nothing, because it is something, but it's not. You can't compare it to Lagos, which is our flagship.
The population here.
Yes, but it has really helped us gain popularity in Abuja as well. So yeah, opening a store definitely helps. But before you open a store in a place, obviously you have to really gauge your market. You have to look at your data. To see the customers, where most of your orders are coming from. And that's what really made us open in Abuja, because after Lagos, Abuja was our next was the next city that had orders coming in on the website. So we knew that if we opened there, it was gonna.
And that is one of the merits of having a website, because I'm not a tech babe, but behind the scenes, once it's collating data, people are putting in their email addresses, their phone numbers. So these are people that will form who you are sending your newsletters to. Yes. And now I cannot even open your website in peace, because I will get, we saw you looking. Yes. So you're retargeting me. I go on your website, I look at things. The next thing you know, obviously, because of what it's normal for big stores. Next thing I get an email, we saw you looking. Which of these pieces caught your eye? Go away.
In fact, sometimes you get another email that says, okay, take 10%. Yeah, we do that so that, just to entice people to.
And then, of course, you have your newsletters telling people, okay, we have a collection coming. Yeah. It also shows you, okay, where people are shopping from and things. So these are one of the merits of
having a website. Because of the data that you get. And data is so important.
Now, there are moments in life when you need something important for work, and paying the full amount for that thing just doesn't make sense or is not possible at that exact time. This is where Buy Now, Pay Later by Credit Direct comes to help you. Let me explain. So let's say you are a designer and you need to buy a very expensive, maybe sewing machine or something. It costs XYZ million naira, and you might have that amount, but if you put that entire amount down, you will have money for nothing else. And this is where Buy Now, Pay Later by Credit Direct becomes very useful, because you can put some money down and spread the payment in a way that is manageable and useful and also beneficial for your business. It's not about buying things that you can't afford. It is about managing and structuring payments in a way that protects your cash flow and also your peace of mind. If that flexibility sounds helpful, then Buy Now, Pay Later by Credit Direct might be for you. All you need to do is download the app, Credit Direct. What's your staff strength? Give us approximate numbers.
102-ish.
Yeah, a lot of tailors, obviously.
Yeah, so the tailors are I would say 70% of that, and then admin staff, then girls at the store, and then the tech team, inventory. Yeah, but 70% of that number is the tailors, people at the factory.
Let's talk about funding. I Are you fully 100% self-funded? Did you at any point take a loan or anything like that? Did you have any investors?
No.
So fully funded. Wow.
Bootstrapped all the way.
What financial habits did you adopt to grow to this point?
I think that building structure helped. So that's where I partner with my sister. My sister is, even though I studied accounting, my sister is a better manager. At the time, she was working at Konga, and she was doing their merchandising. Okay. So she understood what the kind of structure that we needed, because at Konga, they also sell. It was buying and selling, right? So she just after the first year, before the end of 2016, I told her I needed her to come on board, because then you're making money, but you're not spending it right, And then she came in and she drew up a whole structured plan.
God bless her.
Zephans Co. And she says, this is what this money is going to go here. You're going to take this out, and then this is profit. She structured single-handedly.
Oh, wow. That's structured.
So when I tell people
priceless.
When I tell people that my sister is my backbone, they don't get it. It's like, did you think that I'm just saying it?
I get it.
You understand?
I've seen her because
people think that I'm just talking. I'm like, this girl, she helped me. I can go anywhere. I can create. I can do anything I want to do, because I knew at that time, and obviously now we have accountants and everything, but at that time when I was just starting, she was the one that really helped me structure my business. And it was so important for us at the time. If not, we would have been leaving money on the table or just throwing money away. You understand? But she was able to put in structure. I was able to our cost analysis, how to pay tailors, how to set money apart for the next order, for fabric and everything. So that really helped us.
So
we're
you can't do it alone as a person.
Honestly, it's not like you can't do it alone. It will just take you more time. So if you have friends, and that's what I always tell people, when you're starting, you really need to bank on your network. You need to tap into your network. Like when I started, my friends were my models. My friend was my makeup artist. My friend was my photographer, videographer. I maximized my network when I started. And you definitely cannot start a business like this by yourself. So you're either going
your village has to come around.
Your village has to come around. And if you don't have a village, then you have to pay for it.
Yeah, but
you have to pay for it, but then you're just starting this business. You're not really trying to, first of all, you don't even have that much capital. Well, me at that time, I didn't have unlimited capital at my disposal, at my disposal. I had saved money to start the business because I was working 9 to 5. So I took my time to save money, Then I was even selling hoverboards.
Okay.
So from my hoverboards money as well, I set it aside, and then I was able to start. But these days, some people tell you that they don't have that much money. So I'm like, look around you. Who can you use? Which of your friends is a videographer? Which of them can you use to model? Because our first collection, all my friends, all of whom have now gone on to do great things, but they all modeled for me, and they didn't take a dime.
Yeah,
they were so excited for me. All my friends, they would tag their friends, and I remember Tiwa wearing one of our dresses because another of my friend had written. That friend knew her personally. I was like, please, my friend is starting. And at the time, it was such a big deal because it's Tiwa. Do you understand?
At the time, it's still a big deal.
For a brand that was just starting, obviously, it's a big deal, And then another person had connected me to Jackie Appiah, just like that. And God, to be honest, I just give all the glory to God because it was divine.
Your friends, your village, your people are very important.
Yes.
Demisoke Shoes 2015. I didn't know what the heck to do in terms of putting the visuals together.
Yes.
April by Kumbi was the one who was like, okay, she's that kind of person. Let's make everything pretty, let's do this, let's do that. She was like, okay, these shoes are green, we're going to put this here, we're going to put this here.
Yes.
She called her friend who is a photographer. She called Nowhere. I'd never met Nowhere in my life. Didn't pay Nowhere a dime. She was like, I know one girl, she has nice legs, let's call her.
Wow.
And she's my friend, she'll do it for me. Oh yeah, do this way, do your leg like this. I was just like, oh, I was a spectator in the whole thing. I was like,
yeah, it looks
nice.
Good. Honestly, that was me too. I was
wonderful,
I was like, this look, my friend, the makeup artist was my friend. In fact, the makeup artist, she followed them and modeled for me self.
Yeah, logo, that my friend made it for me. I called my older friend who was in advertising. I said, please advise on this. What do you think?
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't have people like that, they don't have to be like your closest friends, but if you don't have people like that you can call for advice or for help, then you need to take a look and really analyze the people that you surround yourself with. And it's not just for you to be a taker, but also be useful to other people. Because I'm sure that I've heard some stories, I'm not going to mention the brands, but I've heard some stories of you helping your friends start similar brands.
Yeah.
Not going to mention who, where, what, but it was very obvious for those of us who have Amiable to pinpoint, okay, she helped this person. And you know what? I don't know if you remember, there was this pop-up. I think you invited, I don't know if it was you or your friend, but it was your friend, a very close friend to you till today, somewhere in Lekki.
Yes, it was me and Tanya at Sal Cafe.
Yes.
That was our first pop-up together.
Yes, and you invited me to come, and I was just like, okay, sure, let's do this. And I was just observing. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it was so obvious that, you know,
that was her
she had
first
leaned
ever. She
into
just
you
started
for advice, and I was like, this is so cool.
God,
Meanwhile, some people will say, please, we cannot be in the same business. We cannot.
Oh no, the passion, we are not even producing enough in Nigeria.
I understand.
The business is so, like, the market is so big.
When people are so concerned about competition, I'm thinking to yourself, just look at your just 10 streets away from you. You cannot finish selling what you're selling to these women, whether it's clothes, shoes, whatever it is. Yeah. Like, do you feel like more people need to collaborate or partner up? Are we doing enough of that?
No. I honestly think that people need to collaborate, but then I also realize that the reason why people don't collaborate as much is because, and even me, I was a brand I nearly collaborated with, but I realized that I was going to do all the work. You understand? For you to have a successful collaboration, you have to do with a like-minded brand, like a brand that really has the same values and understands that it's really a collaboration. You're not going to leave me to do all the work. And at the end of the day, the value that is like added should be equal. You understand? So I'm not going to do all the work for you and then you take, like, we have to share the credit equally. That's unfair to anybody, you know? So yeah, a lot of times, as much as it would be nice for more brands to collaborate, you know, during the last Lagos Fashion Week, I saw a couple of fashion brands collaborate, and I thought it was really beautiful. But I understand why some people shy away from it, right? But yeah, collaboration is something that has helped me.
Okay. With all this success, there'll definitely be some hard knocks. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
What are some of those?
That's influencer I told you about.
I'm really scarred by this.
We lost money. I think that in our most recent, that was one collection where. But then, I mean, it's part of like business, you know, you win some, you lose some, right? And then you learn with it. But that experience taught me never to really go outside of what I know is what our people like, because our business is very, very customer focused.
I figured it out. Sorry. I figured it out.
Did you get it now?
I figured it out. And you know, when I saw it, I was like, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I thought, this is what my thoughts was. I thought, well, maybe they paid.
We paid. We were the ones that paid.
So wait, when people collaborate with you, do you say, like, in terms of, you know, like, I've seen situation, I think you had something called the Star Girl. Yeah. Like, for example, like Erica now. And I remember I came for that one and it was so packed. It was so full. Or Bisola, I'm not trying to get into too much of your business, but is it for every piece we sell, you get a percentage, or is it, we're going to pay you this
for
thing
different, upfront? No, most of the time it's upfront. Okay. We pay upfront. And most talents require their money upfront, actually. Okay. They tell you that, this is what, you know, I want.
So there's no story.
You know, exactly. You know, we've never even had anybody come and tell us percentage. Yeah,
I'll do percentage with you if you want to do it on camera.
But we've never.
I know your capability. You know, but hey,
these people don't trust us. You know,
but I honestly think that we don't collaborate enough. And I think even if you are in the same field, I'm not saying, look, we should all. Yeah. But there should be more. Yeah, is all I'm saying. Like, but
you also remember there has to be synergy. There has to be synergy. Yeah, there has to be. You know, there has to be synergy. I understand brands that don't collaborate. I understand it. You know, but I agree with you that we need to have more collaboration.
When I was thinking of this show, for example, and I was thinking, the reason why I started this show in this first place is because I feel like there are not enough stories being told from the creative's point of view, especially in this fashion industry. Everybody's shouting Nigerian fashion industry. Yeah. But how is it being built? Who are the people, building this thing? Exactly. They're not telling their stories. And, being a fashion entrepreneur, being an honor personality, I'm like, perfect, marriage of this thing.
And it's fantastic.
And somebody asked me, are you going to invite people who have, who are in the same business as you, who cater to female shoes, who make their own shoes? I was like, yes.
Of course.
Why not?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
What am I going to steal from you from just an interview? Do you understand? And I was like, I've invited a few, we'll definitely make it happen. Because just like, I remember when I was a bit worried. Again, this is 10 years ago. And I was like, I came out, made all this noise about these shoes. And all of a sudden there's these brands popping up now doing exactly the same thing I'm doing. Why didn't they do their own before me? And I was just like, you know what? How many shoes are you making?
Exactly.
Are you making 1 million shoes?
Oh my God. I mean,
even if you make 1 million pairs, you cannot cater to the women in Lagos State.
No,
so
absolutely
where is the fear coming from?
I mean, if you're saying that for shoes, what do you want us to say about fashion? Fashion is like
now water everywhere. Everybody is a designer now. Everybody has clothing.
See, if you know how many mentees I have, the people that I have to sit down every month, I have to sit down on a call with them,
and they'll be crying,
they'll be crying.
It's like, but honestly,
oh my God, Kiki, look how I'm like, wow.
Have you ever had moments where you cried over this business?
No.
I'm happy for you.
No, I've never.
In Yoruba, they say, "Mobile yo." I'm happy for you.
And God, it will never happen.
Amen.
No,
amen. Because
I've been close to tears several times, but let me tell you, I'm a very optimistic person, baby. I am very optimistic. I look for the best in every situation, and when something goes wrong, I'm very solution oriented.
I've had to teach myself that. Yeah. Because one small thing can happen, I'm like, oh my God, this is the end of me. Oh, and I'm just like, okay, calm down. So my own is dramatics first, and then calm down, and then I'll figure out what to do, because you cannot be dramatic. You have to figure out the solution.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's so much. You've been celebrated. You've been but has anyone ever accused you of copying?
Yes.
Oh, that yes was very fast.
Even when we started, like our very first collection.
Oh.
Yes.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but I remember it very well, because the person had her sister send me a stinker.
Oh.
Let me say, I put out this collection today. I will have you know that was how I even got to find out about the... You'd
never heard of him?
I'd never heard of the person before. And the person sent me this stinker. Her sister... I looked at the message. I think he like me cleared you, man. Do you understand? I look at the message because, so let me tell you what it was. At the time, this Elisab, which is a designer, Lebanese designer, I really like. I love his design, even though they're very, very elevated. It's like bridal, right? But at the time, he was doing these pant sets that were crop in front and long at the back. But he did his own to be bedazzled, right? The tops were like bedazzled, right? And that was where I didn't, obviously mine was not bedazzled, it was just like, I was like, I'm going to make it. Exactly, but I changed the pants. The pants were different, tweaked a little, because at the end of the day, remember, we're fast fashion. We get inspired by couture.
The luxury people, yeah.
Exactly.
You just have to change, everybody.
My sis, you just got to do what you got to do. Because like, I watched like fashion shows from like the 90s and everything. That's where I get it. I'm not going to sit down here and tell you that, even though I sketch, right? I've sketched a design. I've tried it on, sampled it. If I don't like it, okay, remove this, change the bottom. We do all of that. But then we are inspired by the people who were there before us. So you understand?
Everybody if you've watched The Devil Wears Prada, there's that scene where she explains everything. I think the girl was laughing, and then Meryl Streep's character was like, this is what happens. There's couture fashion shows, there's luxury fashion shows, and then 2 or 3 years down the line, you will see like replicas of these designs.
2 or 3 years is not too long.
Stores.
That movie is old.
That's just
now.
With China,
it's coming out tomorrow.
Were you worried about going to China? And this is the reason why I ask, because I've had friends who design. They're not fast fashion. They're more like either made to order or like, luxury, and they find that they will create a collection today. And by next week, replicas of their collection are in Balogun Market, obviously shipped straight from China. I had a friend who used to go to Turkey. She would make her stuff there and then she would sell in Nigeria. And then her first trip to China, like 10 years ago, she walks into this store to try and see if they could make her stuff. And she found her own picture on their wall from her Instagram.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, this you. Hello. They were so excited. I was just like, and she was like, these are the criminals that are stealing from me, literally, and selling, in Lagos Island and all that. I'm sure that has happened to you. Were you worried about that?
To be honest, no, not anymore. Like at the beginning, the first time it happened to me, I think I was more shocked than worried. I was like, what?
But that's how you're blown.
They were using our videos. My friend went to Turkey, and my friend buys clothes from Turkey to sell here. And when she got there, she was sending me all our videos with the item number on their own item number. How many pieces you have to buy, minimum order quantity, and how many. Videos. So when obviously the quality wasn't the same.
Of course,
the quality, the fabric wasn't the same. But then people are buying it. Yeah. But then I asked myself, so what would Gucci do? What would Dior do? What would Louis Vuitton? Because see,
But, okay.
I mean, it's a sad situation, right? And as much as I always advise people to trademark, your brand, trademark all of that, but it's with China, you can't win. Because you can go to China, file like do your whole trademarking there, file at the court and everything. The only thing the brands will not do is use your name to sell.
They will change some things, but it's your design.
But they will still do your design.
Yeah.
So it's just one of the woes that comes with the business. So the sooner that you stop concerning yourself with those things. I mean, maybe it's easier for me to say because like our price point is lower, and I feel like brands that have more expensive price points, it'll be harder on them because you spent all your time and your money making these pieces and then only for someone to water it down. Because imagine like a brand that sells for like 800,000, right? And then you see the exact
same thing
for like maybe 50K.
Yeah, that's so wild to me. Now, did you ever consider moving your production to China or Turkey or any of these places?
No, never.
Okay.
Because again, not even the price point, because I can actually manufacture in China, but I love that we're adding value to our economy. We asked earlier, we employ over 100 people, right? And by the grace of God, in another 10 years, maybe it's 1,000. I love that as much as we're doing the business to make money, we're also adding value to
these are all households that you are empowering. Do you have to house all of them?
No.
Okay.
No, some of them, but they stay from Mondays to Fridays, and then they go home for the weekend. And then it's not mandatory. It's if you need it, then we provide that for you.
Okay.
And then we also try to hire, and the people that we actually house are tailors.
Okay.
Not all of them, but then we also try to employ people that live around the factory, because again, I don't want to take you away from your family.
Yeah. Are you also going to become like a factory that will make for other brands?
Yes, eventually.
Okay.
Eventually.
So you're not doing that right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So eventually that would happen.
Yes.
Okay. See, we could sit here
and we would have so many things. Yeah,
I'm telling you to talk about, but I think that the meat of what I wanted to get, I got. And what will you advise fashion designers or creatives? What would your advice be? I know that everybody's
so up and coming.
Yes.
Okay. So I would say that just really keep your eyes on your vision, right? Social media has a way of conditioning us to feel like you're slow paced, or you're not doing enough, or other people are ahead of you, or it's happening faster for other people. And then people now tend to lose the plot. You now want to be like this person, be like that person, and then you lose your identity, right? But if you're able to focus, and that is what has never changed with us. At the end of the day, the vision is the same, right? We are very, 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 very customer focused like that's the goal. I never want our customers to feel like they are no longer appreciated. You understand? Anytime I walk into the store, I love to interact with our customers, because I've had situations where I want to buy from a Nigerian brand, and if I tell you my stories, right? So like, it is so important that you really focus on your why, right? Because that's what will take you, or that's what will help you scale. Yeah. That's one of my most important advice.
So people ask you, especially as you've gone, and I know, sorry to keep bringing China up, but China became a big conversation this year, and people have been going to China for decades.
I've been going to China since 2018.
Yes,
yeah, but today this year there was such a
yeah. At what point do you advise people to go?
It's hard though. It's hard to give that advice because I personally know someone who went to China this year. Not for the first time. She went to China in March. She stayed there for 4 months without any money.
To do what?
She just went to China and decided that, you know what, I'm going to start selling things. So she started going from city to city, taking pictures.
So was that pre-order model that she was doing?
Yes. Okay. And she came back with a bunch of containers.
Oh, I know one situation. I know of one person.
Exactly. So my thing is, it's no longer as it used to be.
There's no rules.
There are no rules. Just do what works for you. When I went to China, it was 2018. I really wanted to go and see. You know, we could afford it. You know, I could travel and I bought fabric. We came back, we sold it. It did well. You know, they're really. I also feel like there'll be a time that your business, like you would know that, okay, it's time for us to just go and expand that, because that's how it felt for me. I was just like, you know what, this China they're always talking about, let me even go and see what is there. But what that trip did for me was it helped me prepare better for the next trip. So I knew how much I needed to go with. I knew, and again, that's because I was focused on my fabric. Some people, it's like, okay, maybe let me try this, maybe I can try another business, maybe I can, you know. So every time that I have gone, I always go with a plan. And then if at the time, like I have a new business venture that I'm going to launch next year that is going to be off of, you know, Zephans Co, like a new business that, you know, feeds the brand. And that is also from going to China, going to China this many times.
Because you learn so much. There's so many things there. Yeah.
So because in fashion, you can decide that, okay, maybe I want to start selling accessories. So maybe there's a gap for this. So what's that thing that we always buy from China that, you know, is difficult for me to get here? And then you decide that you want to start selling it. So yeah, I feel like there are no rules. But when it's time, because you cannot go if you don't have money. At the end, but at least she bought. She was able to buy her ticket and pay for her hotel.
If you were to go back to day one to start the brand all over again, what would you do differently?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm happy with I'm very content with how we've grown.
I love that.
Great things take time. You know, nothing good comes easy. We're going to be 10 years in January, and
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very happy with how. With our pace, you know, I'm very happy with it. I can't even. In fact, I'll be ungrateful to say otherwise. You know, so no, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, except for the one time that we tried something new, and obviously I learned my lesson.
We'll have to talk about that off camera.
I learned my lesson, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. No,
I really, really love that. I'm so happy for your growth.
Thank you.
Happy because it's a brand I feel like I grew up with. Like, you know, because I've been, listen, trust me, when I say I'm a boss, Zephans Co, like sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to see anything. You push, you have taken my money.
Please, I don't see your Christmas budget.
Your campaign is about to launch, right?
It is this Friday. Yes.
There was one time you did something with a car. I was like, How do you decide? Do you have a marketing team and decide, okay, this is what we're going to do this year?
This is part of the structure. We have a marketing team who, like, you know, they're the ones. Obviously, now we've grown to the point where I delegate almost everything, right? So when we have our meeting, we meet every Tuesday, and, you know, we talk about the direction to push the campaign to. For this year, our Christmas campaign is tagged Celebration. Because this year has been so good.
Thank God. Though.
You know, we thank God. Yeah. So we're wrapping it up, you know, to celebrate like the year and also like ring in our 10th anniversary. So yeah, that was someone's idea.
That's good.
From the marketing team. Yeah. So,
because I feel like as much as you can do everything by yourself, it's not easy. You know, and
I mean, mom,
not having a life. Yes, your daughter. You show her. I mean, she's so cute, really cute. And I wonder, like, I know, like you mentioned, because there are times when I'm so fed up with some aspects of my business, and female shoes are hard. I spoke to someone who makes men's shoes, and he spoke about his attempt to make women's shoes, and he said he cried. Big man like this, he said that he cried. He threw away all the shoes and it was supposed to be for a fashion show, and he threw the shoes away and something, and the models ended up walking barefoot because it was just, it's not easy, right?
Wow.
And there've been times when I'm like, I'm going to disable this page. I don't want to even think about this brand because I don't want to just...
You're doing amazing. See, the baby socket shoes that I have,
yes.
My baby socket, in fact, I nearly wore it because I changed my dress. I now decided I just bought this one from another Nigerian, this thing. It's so convenient.
Thank you.
And it's very comfortable.
Bruh, sometimes I'm just like...
It's the comfort.
You. And then sometimes I'm like, I look at some other brands, I'm like, they're charging more and they are so flashy, and I'm just like, honest, what am I doing? But you know what?
No, let me just stay. You're doing amazing, please. Let me tell you, you're doing amazing. In fact, you're the first person that I knew was like considered people like us. Because maybe when I was 41, but after I had my baby, I'm now 42. Yeah, sometimes 42.5.
People don't know that your feet might grow after a baby.
After a baby, so So please, thank you for thinking about also, because you are solving a problem.
Yeah, but ever since I've had my daughter, I'm like, don't you want to pass on something to this person? Mm-hmm. And it is one thing that she has seen me grow, because I think the year that she was born was the year that I left radio, and it kind of pained me that she didn't get to see that aspect, even though it was such a heavy aspect of my life. I was in radio for 16 years. Yes. I was just like, okay, this is one legacy that she can see me build, one dream she can see me build. So because of her, I will go. And so when she asks me questions, because she's also very curious, she's about to be 5. Mm-hmm. She asks me questions, I answer. She's so proud to tell people my mommy makes bags and shoes for women. She's always so happy, so excited when there's a new batch and everything. So for you, when you see this little girl, and this is your daughter, do you think one day I'm going to hand over the reins to her?
I mean, if she's interested, the second business I was telling you about is actually in her name, So I feel, because Zephans Co is my nephew. Oh, okay. At the time that I was starting the business, he had just been born, and I am still obsessed with him till today. That's right, cool. And he's so proud of it. He's so proud of it, So yeah, I mean, if she decides that she would like to do. But if she doesn't, this business is gonna outlive me.
We want mommy and me. We want mommy and me. Zephans line.
It will come. Okay, it will come. I promise.
So we can.
It will come. But the thing is, I want to do it well.
I understand.
Yeah, I want to do it well. When I start, I want to do it well. That's why I haven't done it yet. But it will come.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you. This has been amazing. Like I said, before I even assembled the team that was going to do the production or anything, I was like, Kiki is going to be on my list. You were number one person I needed to talk to, because I think that your brand is one that has stood the test of time. You've taken your time to explain how you got there. It's all about the structure. It's all about being disciplined. It's not like, you sell 35,000 clothes now and then you decide to obli. Like, you're not doing crazy things.
Even my accountants would look at it like, Azalma.
So, and by the way, I am wearing Zephans Co. I had to. I just had to.
You.
So yeah, thank you
so much. Thank you. I was happy to be here.
We're giving away a gift voucher this week. All you have to do is download the Credit Direct app, show us proof in our DMs, and you could be our winner for the week. It's a wrap. Thank you. This episode was brought to you by Credit Direct.